Hello, welcome to RIT SportsZone. I'm John DeTulio.
And I'm Kristen Clark. Today's Sports Zone kicks off its 11th season in the Brick City.
You know, Kristen, last year the RIT women's hockey team stole the spotlight as they captured the program's first national championship, then announced they were moving up to Division I.
With a new era in women's sports upon us, Sports Zone went behind the scenes with Scott McDonald's group to document their journey through preseason, culminating with their highly anticipated Division I debut.
Go fast, let's go. Sprint it.
Come on, Carly, get here.
What we're doing for competition day is we have a bunch of different, they're like strongman competitions. Go! We throw some weights around, do some lunges, throw the medicine ball down the track. We do that as a team building thing and as a strengthening thing. Uh-oh, Reed's got power. As good as they were when they won the national title last year, they weren't even close to knowing what it's like to prepare on a daily basis for a Division I atmosphere. So we had some strong words from time to time on our intensity level, our compete level. And you know, to their credit, they responded really, really well. Good. Yeah, it's right about a minute a person. So this is like a minute of sprint shift.
From when we were a D3 team, workouts are very different. For one, we have a trainer, so we have Tim, and we're not just working out on our own. And two, everything is upped. Weights that we lift are completely higher than what we did. The amount of running we do is higher, and just overall intensity is higher too.
807. They didn't understand how hard they could push.
Yeah.
You know, without, you know, some of them thought they were just gonna die those first couple weeks. But they understood after that, okay, I can push this hard, and I'm gonna be fine.
Go, T! I would say we are prepared because we have worked very hard and everyone has done what they need to do in the off season. We're excited and we're ready to do the best we can do.
Go, Colby!
You won the national title in Division III at about 75% of your real strength. Now you've grown from there. Keep pushing the bar higher. If you keep pushing the bar higher, we're gonna do great.
1, 2, 3, Tigers!
Pretty much it's just a meet and greet with the team. So all our fans, the community, students, they get to come out, get to meet us right before season, for our game tomorrow, and just kind of meet us before the season starts.
Really like that the community is so involved in the team, and I think it's really nice to see all the fans come out and support us today.
We have this event now, the meet and greet, and then later on we have a 3-hour practice. We're kind of looking forward to it because we've been doing just so many captain's practices and stuff, so it's kind of good for us to finally have a real practice.
Here we go! Skate! Come on. Quicker. On it! We need to learn to use better intensity now, keep our tempo up the whole time, and overall just be so competitive now. That's what we really need. Okay, and that's the next level that we have to get to, is just the sheer competitiveness every shift, every second, the whole time. All right, so get used to passing it harder and get used to releasing it quicker. Any questions? Good. Hold your stick tight. Skate now, skate. Other way. Why are you all nervous and jittery? Settle down. Harder. Come here, all of you, down here. Get on the line. I want to put some pressure on the girls to get them used to, you know, the more pressure that they're going to have at the Division I level. I thought we should have been sharper, a little bit more focused, especially the first practice. We've been on the ice somewhat practicing, and already there's pucks everywhere. So we'll get warmed up by just skating. We'll take the pucks out of the equation so you guys can get into it. Orange and white, go, down and back. We've had numerous sessions of just working on skill stuff, you know, passing and receiving. And so that was the last thing I expected to be off today. Half of you already look tired. Line up on the opposite sides now, do the same drill. Let's actually make a pass this time. I wanted more tempo, and that was really the only thing. There's nothing new that we're learning that's mind-blowingly different at the Division I level. It's just trying to enforce the tempo and the speed is going to be different. The time and space will be different, and just the execution of plays has to be a lot better now.
Catch the pass!
I don't think we're a Division I team right now. We haven't played a game yet, and until we get that first game under our belt, then we're Division III. So this is something that it'll be great for us, to see this on film of what we're up against. This is from Saturday afternoon. They're playing Stony Creek.
It's a little nerve-wracking to play Mercyhurst next weekend just because, they are known for, to be a really good team. But, we just have to work hard, and I think, all the training that we've done and all the practicing and everything, I think we're ready, and it should be a good game.
Close the gap on them. That's how you slow teams down, is you close gaps on them.
I think we're getting closer to that level every practice, so I think Mercyhurst will be a really good check-in point to see where we are and what we still need to do.
It's great for us to play the upper echelon Division I teams because it'll give us a very clear idea of what the level really is. They're the cream of the crop of the CHA conference, and if we want to win a championship in this league, then we have to play through them. You have to be able to beat them all the time, not 1 out of 4 games. It's got to be all the time. Let's get up in their face. Let's not blink. Let's just freaking pound them into the boards. Take a couple shots at them, all right? And let them know that they're in for a game this weekend, okay? Good? All right.
I was really nervous last night, but I think I'm a little fleshed out now. I'm ready to go. Everyone in the locker room seems to be excited and trying to get all the nerves out.
It's going to be high tempo, lots of contact. We just have to be aggressive on the puck and make sure we get pucks to the net to bury on the opportunities that we get.
You will not back down. You will not back away. If they want to get into it, then you get right up in their face and get into it with them. Okay? Enjoy the moment. Enjoy everything. Welcome to D1 hockey. Now let's welcome Mercer to our rink now. Show them what we're about. Okay? At the end of the day, they're going to be talking about us. All right? Let's have some fun out here tonight, okay? Hey, good, bad, and the ugly, we do it together, okay? Yeah. Keep your heads on straight, you go together the whole time, all right? Let's go, have some fun, all right? A lot of fun.
Right off the bat. Seconds into this game.
At least we've still got a lot of hockey to play. Now let's see what kind of bite we really have now, okay? How do you respond to this?
Another goal, 2-0, and we are 18 seconds into this game.
Let's go, Orange. Wow.
The first 2 goals were a major wake-up call, especially for me. I was on the ice for the 2 goals, and the first one, it was just wow, what just happened? And then, we got ready and we were like, okay, we're not gonna let this happen again. And it was wow, it happened again.
All right, let's just chip away, okay? Everybody settle down now, relaxed. First period, that wasn't our team. That was clearly, I thought nerves were involved.
The first period is in the books for the RIT Tigers. Mercyhurst comes out, they got a 4-0 lead after 1.
Take the first 20 seconds out, and honest to God, it's a good game. So forget the first period, this is from scratch now. It is 0-0 for the period. Let's see the period. And we got to learn how to chip away and start coming back now. Okay? That's the lesson for the next 20. Okay? Now let's see what we're made of. Okay? Come out and let's play.
The flag in front, and the Tigers have their first goal at the Division I level.
That's it, girls. That's it. Let's get going now, okay? Chip away.
And there's a goal. The Tigers, their first power play goal at the Division I level. And what do you know? It's another freshman, Katie Hubert, with the goal. Number 22. It's 6-2.
That's a 2-2 period right there with a top 10 Division I team. 2-2. 20 minutes, man. Let's make a statement here that we're not going to give up no matter whatever the scoreboard says, we're not giving up here. Set the tone now, okay? All right, let's go. Come on. Come on.
Brown in front, and Payroll not able to get to it before the goaltender, Amanda McKella. Well, the RIT Tigers tonight, first game D1 level for the women. Going to come up on the short end, but the way they played in the second and the third, they played them even the second and the third after falling behind 4-0 in the first.
Keep your heads up. I certainly wouldn't think that's not an embarrassing loss by any means. Your first game against a top 10 team. I thought we had a good showing, especially in the last 2 periods. I think you would rather play that game and lose rather than play a 10-0 game and win. Right or wrong, you know? Up top says Carly. Carly with her first, okay? And then also Katie with her first one, okay? Congratulations. Awesome. Overall, I was actually pleased how we finished. Give us about 5-6 more games to get that pace down. And then we'll see, you know, by Thanksgiving time, I think then you're truly a D1 team when you have a number of games under your belt.
Don't forget that RIT SportsZone is your home for women's hockey this season.
Our next broadcast comes up on Saturday, November 10th, when the Tigers host Syracuse at Ritter Arena. Coverage begins at 2 o'clock. You can find our complete women's hockey broadcast schedule right now on our website, ritsz.com. Welcome back to SportsZone. The puck is ready to drop on a new season for the RIT men's hockey team. Melissa Bromley caught up with the head coach of the Tigers for a preview.
I'm here with head coach Wayne Wilson, who begins his 15th season here at RIT. Coach, I think one of the biggest questions coming into this season is going to be who's going to replace Shane Matalora in net.
Well, it's a good question, but thankfully we have what we think are 2 good returning goalies, in Jordan Ruby and Josh Watson, and we have a newcomer, Ken McLean, here as well. We'll let the 2 upperclassmen battle it out and see how they do at the beginning of the year before we make a decision whether we're going to go with 1 or we may go with 2 as well.
Fans chanting RIT. Burke halting it, blasted a goal, and the Tigers have done it through.
One of the best shots on the team.
On top of that, you lost a big class last year. What has the team been doing to prepare to fill those voids?
Well, you know, there's a lot. Team chemistry is very important, I think, to any team. You have to have a certain amount of talent, but chemistry is a part of it. So when we're trying to get 8 new guys acclimated to RIT, not only the hockey part, but also just the schooling part, it takes some time. So I think we're going to have to go through some games, and whether it be great wins or tough losses, I think teams start to bond off of those situations, and you grow from them. So it's going to take a little bit of time at the beginning of the year, but I think once we get going, hopefully the team will bond in a very positive manner.
After back-to-back losses in the conference championship game, do you feel that the upperclassmen have come back with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a chip. You know, it's difficult because you work so hard, and when you get into those single game eliminations and they're over and done with, you have to sit on it all year long again. So those are tough losses. I think you use them for fuel, for fire. I think it gets everyone's attention at the start of the year that it is a lot of hard work throughout the year, and you've got to be able to close at the end of the year, and that's what we're going to be working towards, is just getting better every game, and then getting to that moment, trying to be at our best when it really matters.
Can you talk to us a bit about the AHA coaches poll about the team finishing in 4th this season?
Well, we're picked for 4th, and that's fine. Someone pointed out every time we get picked other than 1st, we end up winning the league, so maybe that's a good thing. But, you know, we did lose a lot of people, so there's a lot of question marks, and I think it's up to ourselves now to really kind of prove ourselves that we're better than that. And this is, I think, just motivation. I think if you're picked number 1, it's certainly an honor, but you've got to then back it up, and maybe not as much of a target on our back this year as there has been in the past.
My thanks to head coach Wayne Wilson. The Tigers open up their season with a pair of games in Ann Arbor against Michigan on October 11th and 12th. For RIT SportsZone, I'm Melissa Bromley.
The Tigers' first home game comes up on Saturday, October 20th at the Blue Cross Arena against Penn State. Our coverage begins that night with RIT SportsZone pregame live at 7 o'clock on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet Channel 26 and 1026 HD.
Unless you're a track enthusiast, you probably have never heard of race walking. Now, it's harder than it sounds, and it's different from running in that one foot must appear in contact with the ground at all times. Now, this past summer, SportsZone's Kristen Klock caught up with an RIT senior who's become one of the best racers in the nation and now has her sights set on a trip to Rio in 2016.
Rachel Zoyhovsky didn't start race walking until high school, but it didn't take long for her to become a natural.
I started race walking in high school because I was a downhill ski racer and I wanted to stay in shape for skiing. And I had never run track before. I'd never pursued a running career. And I just kind of saw a bunch of girls doing it out on the track one day and I thought, oh, that looks like fun. Maybe I'll give it a shot. So some of the older girls took me out and they showed me the rules and what I had to do to stay within proper form, and I just kind of picked it up naturally and went from there.
Was there a moment when you realized, like, oh, I'm pretty good at this?
Actually, it was my very first race. I ended up getting the freshman record, and my coach pulled me aside after the race and said, oh, you got a knack for this. We're going to make you do this for the rest of the season. So I didn't know any better, so I said, okay, we'll do this.
Rachel continued to blossom when she arrived at RIT. She improved so much that last year her coaches decided she should skip her junior season to focus on her ultimate goal.
It was early last year. My coach here, Dave Worth and Dave Stevens, and I decided that I would redshirt this entire cross-country and track season to try and qualify for the U.S. Olympic trials. And since then, I've gotten my other coach. I have a private coach for race walking, and his name's Tim Seaman, and he's based out of California. So between Tim Seaman, Coach Worth, and Coach Stevens, the three of them have all kind of worked together to create a training schedule for me for this past year. So it's a combination of race walking and running. It's supposed to propel me in the direction of qualifying for the U.S. Olympic trials, which it successfully has, while at the same time keeping me in shape so that when I return to running, I'll still have a solid base to go back to.
Rachel qualified for the U.S. Olympic trials in July and got a taste of what it's like to compete against the top athletes in the country. What will you gain from this experience?
The opportunity to race at the Olympic trials is invaluable. There's races all around the country, but there's no single race except for the Olympic trials where every top athlete in the country is there at the same time competing. It's a stressful situation, so being able to go to the Olympic trials now so I know what to expect in the future when I have a greater chance of qualifying for the Olympics, that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to take this in so I can get used to it, and when the next Olympic trials rolls around, I'll be relaxed and ready to go.
Although her time wasn't fast enough to qualify for the London Games, Rachel is confident she will represent her country in 2016.
Most elite distance runners and race walkers don't really hit their prime until they're about 25, 28 years old. And I'm still 20. I'm just starting to crest into my potential. So my coach and I have decided that this is it's more of a learning experience for me. It'll be great if I go out and I get a B standard, but there's many other women in the U.S. that have been training for a much longer time, and they've put a lot of work in, and London is their time. Rio's my time.
Hillside Family of Agencies is one of the oldest nonprofit human service organizations in Western New York. They assisted over 12,000 families in our area last year.
As Courtney Tennant reports, there was much more on the line than usual as RIT and the University of Rochester renewed their rivalry on the pitch.
Two teams, one great cause. On the 11th anniversary of September 11th, the inaugural Hillside Community Shield brought together the crosstown rivalry of RIT and U of R and Hillside Family Agencies. How did the idea of the Community Shield come about?
Well, I'm one of those people who's been in this community for a long time playing soccer. I love the game of soccer. I work at Hillside. I thought about how many families in this community just enjoy soccer actually year-round. And the germ of an idea came after something that's done in England called the Charity Shield. Originally it was called the Charity Shield, and it was a game to support children's and family charities. So I approached first the coach at the U of R, then your coach, and they were both instantly on board with the idea, and it's gone from there.
When you first heard about the event, what was your reaction?
We jumped right on board. We started talking about this 15 months ago, and Tom called, and there was no hesitation. This was something we needed to do, wanted to do, happy to do it.
We were excited about it to bring our programs, particularly soccer, front and center to a community that just loves soccer. It's crazy about the sport.
Could you talk about your role with Hillside and the people that Hillside actually serve in our community?
Hillside has been around. This is our 175th anniversary, so we've evolved from an orphanage way back in 1837 to a multi-service agency that takes care of children and families with a variety of emotional and mental health issues. We also work with kids in the urban school districts who are trying to graduate from high school. We're really a very holistic children and family service agency in all of New York State.
What does an event like this mean to your agency?
Well, this is really cool. This is great because this matches up a lot of what we believe in Hillside. So, for instance, we think that our youngsters need to be physically active, that generates good health, and this kind of event brings out the community, brings out two organizations that Hillside has been involved with for decades, RIT and the University of Rochester, brings us all together and generates funds for Hillside that we can use for the activities and serving our children.
These are probably the two most competitive men's teams in the area, so you got to start with the best, and that's what we did. But both your schools, your administration, your alumni, have just been so good about trying to make this a big success for the community and for themselves that we can't fail.
I think this is good. Division III athletics, part of what we're trying to instill in the student athletes is service and leadership. And Tom Hildebrandt, the president of Hillside Family Agencies, has pulled this together. He's a soccer fan for a long time. I appreciated the fact that our guys got to see what someone like Tom would do and the impact it can have on the community. The fact that all the proceeds from the game are going for a great cause. This is important for our guys to understand.
RIT, U of R, it's a rivalry game. Do you think that the game being played on 9/11 has even more meaning?
Well, I think it provides us all an opportunity to gather together as a community and to pause and reflect on what that event meant to all of us 11 years ago.
Having been in the military myself, I feel very strongly about, patriotic about this whole thing, and it's an opportunity for us to celebrate, play a game on this date, and then reflect on the great things that this country means.
Well, we were really very touched that the inaugural event would actually be on 9/11. We're so very grateful to those individuals who watch out for us every single day. Hillside has a special role in watching out for the children and families of our community. So that we're here tonight honoring the individuals who have watched out for all of us is also very special.
The U of R captured the inaugural Community Shield with a 1-0 victory. The event raised over $10,000 for the Hillside family of agencies.
Well, that does it for this edition of RIT Sports Zone. Don't forget, we're always on at RITSZ.com.
And you can also stay up to date with Sports Zone by following us on Twitter and friending us on Facebook.
So until next time, thanks for joining us in the zone.